Welcome to the Flynn Brothers Podcast. I'm John.
And I'm Jimmy. Today's big idea, 50th episode Extravaganza, Part 2.
We're celebrating 50 episodes of the Flynn Brothers Podcast with 10 top 5 lists. Last week, we each did lists about food, sports, and Christmas.
This week, we tackle film and TV as well as health and wellness. It's all coming up. But first, here's the Solons.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Part 2 of the Extravaganza is here. The party just keeps right on rolling. A week straight, We've been partying nonstop. We really got to slow down, don't we?
This is the after party.
This is the after party, if you will. So we did 3 categories in part 1. We did Christmas, we did sports, we did food. And this week we have film and TV and health and wellness. We're continuing our top 5 lists. We will start with film and TV. John, I assigned you, and I am desperate to know, your top 5 favorite movies / TV shows of 2025. So you could pick either or. You want to do all movies, TV shows, mix of the both, whatever you want to do. What'd you do, a mix?
I did a mix, and, I'm not somebody who has consumed every single piece of content that's out there, so there's, perhaps some blind spots that I may have. So these are my favorite things that I saw this year, and all of which I offer a hearty Flynn Bros recommendation for. Number 5 is Adolescence. This was kind of more at the beginning of the year. It basically follows over a 4-episode miniseries the murdering of a teenage girl by a suspected teenage boy. And I know that does not sound particularly gripping. I am not a true crime aficionado. However, what this show does better than any show that I've ever seen is tracking shots and realism. These episodes were one shot. I truly do not know how they did it. There was no trickery with the camera. There was none of this little stitching together. These were just impeccably choreographed episodes. Stephen Graham is the father of the accused boy, really gives an unreal performance in this role. Just a very tortured, difficult situation that he finds him in. I just truly don't know how they made this show. I do not know how they did it, and it left me in awe.
I haven't seen it. I know Stephen Graham was involved in the writing and producing of the show, and I think his collaborator, who I believe was the director, they had worked on a project before where Stephen Graham plays a chef, and so they'd made a movie where it was all one take, basically a dinner service where he's a chef. So this has kind of become sort of their thing they like to do. But I really want to check it out. I'm not usually one for dark subject matter, but if it has your recommendation, buddy, I definitely got to see it.
I heartily recommend it. Number 4, this one was a bit more of a crowd pleaser. Sinners, probably the biggest movie of the year. It was the movie that made me say, hey, Michael B. Jordan. All right.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Really held it down. I think it's really, really difficult to play a twin, and you are both twins, and I thought he did a pretty good job of differentiating the two characters, and just kind of really leveraged how naturally charismatic and cool and good-looking this, and huge and ripped, obviously. He's got a lot going for him as an actor in the terms of the physical prowess. I liked the movie overall. I wouldn't say I was over the moon loving it. There are a few quibbles that I have with, maybe some plot points, maybe some pacing, but the originality and the vision behind it, I think, is really inarguable. It was just a true director's, masterclass in terms of putting all of these different parts together and making something that was totally unique, I feel like, to Ryan Coogler. My quibbles mainly have to do with Mrs. Josh Allen, Haley Steinfeld. I think she was given a darn near impossible role, and she did her best, but there are a few lines where I was like, boy, I don't know if that iPhone face is really pulling off this dialogue.
She did teach us the word coos for vagina, which you got.
Yes.
I mean, that in and of itself, that was a worthy part of her performance.
Yes, and I think such a movie like this, whatever issues you may have with it, you just want more movies like this. So whatever little issues that I may have had with it are totally outweighed by the fact that it was really a titanic achievement to get something like this made. Number 3, I have quite a left turn from Sinners. I have Task.
Task. Oh, yeah, Task. I love
Everybody-
Task.
Everybody
yeah.
loves Task. But another show that made me say, hey, welcome back, Mark Ruffalo.
Where you been,
Where you
buddy?
been?
Where you been since Zodiac?
Yeah.
Where you been? Yeah.
I gotta say, I loved the Mark Ruffalo performance. I loved that he had a big gut. I loved his curly mop of gray hair. I loved the plaid and khakis that he was wearing, the accent that he was doing that was sort of Pennsylvania adjacent, the plastic cup, the full of booze and rattling around as he stumbled around his house like an old ghost. He I thought was just like really in the character's skin.
He was
and-
doing a lot of gut acting. He hadn't gained the necessary weight to be a fat FBI agent, but he was really sticking it out and pressuring his lower lumbar. And it was terrific gut acting
Yes.
by Ruffalo.
very much demystified the FBI for me in a very cool way. Tom Pelfrey, who plays sort of his counterpart, the crime committer, he's leads the string of robberies. I thought he was fantastic. I'd never really seen him in too much, and boy, HBO, they do just like find these people where you're like, where has this person been all my life?
Yeah, creator of Mary Easttown, I believe, made this, and the pilot, or I should just say the first episode, there's just a terrific drug raid gone wrong, or kind of like robbery gone wrong. Terrific blocking of the violence, and just such a great heart-stopping scene. Just a really well-made adult dramatic show.
Yeah, and they also have a fantastic sort of side villains with this biker gang that's really well done. Pelfrey's character's way of infiltrating and scoping out robbery locations. He's a trash man. I thought that was just great. And there's this task force that Mark Ruffalo puts together, and which is kind of the breakout character, I think, of this was named Lizzie, who was basically an incompetent FBI agent, not really good at shooting, gets very scared, kind of buckles under pressure and stuff like that. What I thought was interesting about this character is I think it was sort of like the either second or third wave of like what we call quote-unquote diversity casting, where it's like, oh, we got to have a female FBI agent. And I think in the past, the FBI agents would be like, this woman, she can hold her own with any man, and you're not going to put anything past her. She's as tough as anybody. And this one I think is fun because it's like you actually got to see like a real human being, this Lizzie character. She was really, really flawed, really funny, a perfect sort of counterbalance to the very serious tone that the show mostly struck.
They also counterbalance it with another member of the task force, is another woman who is hyper competent and is like, a dead shot and all this cool stuff. So you really get your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, totally. So that was Task. My other beloved HBO show, and maybe not as high of art, but more enjoyable to me, is The Gilded Age.
The Gilded Age. Boy, it hit its stride in this season, didn't it?
I think so. It's just an awesome show. It's basically commanded by Morgan Spector and Carrie Coon. They play George and Bertha Russell, who are these up-and-coming figures in the New York social scene in the aforementioned Gilded Age. George Russell, he's trying to build a railroad across the entire country. Everyone's like, you can't build a railroad across the country. And us sitting here in modernity are like, ha, 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 if only you knew. Well. And then Carrie Coon, she's flipping New York society on its head, which the New York society old guard is perhaps best represented by Christine Baranski and Cynthia Nixon, who play these kind of grand old dames of New York City. Agnes Van Ryn and Ada Brooke. Just the names
Ada
are
Brooke's
great.
the daughter.
Oh, what is her name? Ava? Or?
Ava Van Ryn. Or she marries the priest. I don't know.
Who knows?
Our memory's
Doesn't matter.
terrible,
Doesn't matter the names.
She's Cynthia Nixon and Christine Baranski.
It doesn't.
The
You don't.
character names don't matter. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's butlers and dukes and duchesses. There's horses and carriages. There's steam and smoke coming everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, ooh, electricity. A character dies because of a runaway horse. A servant invents a clock that he sells for the astronomical sum, I believe, of $100,000, which is a lot, and everyone is just losing their mind at the concept of $100,000, which is obviously an unthinkable sum at that time. And of course, there's Nathan Lane playing a Southern gentleman who holds New York society wrapped around his pinky finger, kind of a Truman Capote-esque figure.
There's also Felicia Rashad was in it this season as sort of a self-loathing black woman who was very racist against black people. Just a very fascinating character.
Absolutely. They really have occasionally veered into, okay, you can see that the writers researched something interesting on Wikipedia and felt the need to shoehorn it in here. But for the most part, the human drama really, I think, hit its stride, as you said, in this season.
So that was number 2. That was your second
number
favorite
2.
of the year. All right, let's hear number 1. Your favorite movie or TV show of 2025.
Well, I'm sure you can guess it, and many positive things have already been said about it. It's one battle after another.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Paul Thomas Anderson unite for the very first time and just knock it out of the park. Leo still got it, man. He is just number 1, and there's a lot of young bucks who've been trying to get there, but he's the guy. He's the one that you want in that number 1 spot. He's the name you want at the top of the poster. You had the best role I've ever seen Tiana Taylor ever do. It's kind of a small role, but she really steals the scene for the first act there. Benicio del Toro, as good as I've seen him be in quite some time. And speaking of that, Sean Penn, another guy where it's like, where you been, man? Welcome back. Welcome back to the top of your game. He was just fantastic. And of course, it introduced all of us to a woman who I think is just going to be, at least on social media in our lives for many years, Chase Infinity. Would you, there's some story about her name.
Yeah, so she got her name based on Nicole Kidman's character in one of our favorite Batman movies, Batman Forever. Her character's name is Dr. Chase Meridian, and as Jim Carrey says when he meets her in the movie, and what a grand pursuit you must be. Jim Carrey, the Riddler, of course. So this woman, Chase Infinity, again, a name that could never have existed before this century. If you told someone from the 1950s, hello, my name is Chase Infinity, their brain would explode. They just would not understand. It's almost like a type of car or something.
Yes.
It's got this almost like tech company sound to it. But yeah, she's great in the film as well. It seems like this is kind of Paul Thomas Anderson's The Departed. This is going to be the one where he wins all the Oscars, perhaps some films and some years after when he should have won the Oscars. But it's one of his best. It's probably his most accessible film. So well made. So well written, so beautifully structured. All the performances sing. I think I saw it 3 times in the theater. I just absolutely adored it. So great choice. I will say I'm surprised Eddington did not make your list. That was one of our other favorite films of the year. A little less enjoyable perhaps than these other ones, and perhaps you maybe felt a rewatch was needed before you got it in there.
Yeah, I think it's right on the outside there. You could maybe swap it in for Sinners if you wanted to. I think Sinners, though, just kind of captured the year more than Eddington did, whereas I really did enjoy Eddington. I kind of felt it somewhat came and went and wasn't as big of a moment.
Fair enough. All right, let's move it over to me. Please tell the kind folks at home what you assigned me for the category of film and TV.
Well, I wanted to challenge you, buddy, so I tasked you with finding the top 5 hackiest lines in modern movies and TV shows.
Yes, this is something we talk about a lot, these sort of tropes and things we see in a lot of modern movies and TV shows, and I did my best to capture them. Hilariously, I could not think of many specific movies or TV shows where these occur, but I think by sort of talking about them generally, you'll sort of know what I'm talking about. At number 5, this is one that I have seen recently. This is an old favorite. This has probably been around since like 80s movies, but I've been seeing this one now that we're in kind of the Hallmark Christmas season, and there's a lot of broad comedy, people kind of getting hurt and that being played for laughs. One of the hackiest, number 5, you'll usually see this in like a family comedy or, like I said, a Hallmark movie. Someone falls out of a tree or sees someone get hit in the nuts, and they say, "That's gotta hurt," or they say, "That's gonna hurt in the morning." Just a hack, awful. Please God, think of another line. We could do so much better. You already have the great setup of someone getting, booted in the nads or falling out of a tree. Can't we think of something slightly more clever than "That's gotta hurt"?
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it. This one has been an epidemic in the past 5 years. It occurs, number 4. It's when a single drop-dead gorgeous female character with slightly smeared mascara says, quote, "I'm a mess." Kirsten Bell has made a career off of this. I find it so funny. She is so drop-dead gorgeous, perfect skin, perfect teeth, totally beautiful. And there'll be like a scene where she's like eating Ben and Jerry's and like watching, Pride and Prejudice, and her mascara is slightly smeared and maybe a couple flyaway hairs, and she's just like, "I'm a mess." And it's like, why? Because you're single for 2 months? It just does. It's hack. I just don't get it. I'm a mess. This whole thing, I'm a mess. It's become like a thing people say too. It's just like, "I'm a mess." Like, oh, spilled my coffee all over me on my way to work. I'm a mess. And it's like, or you just accidentally dropped a coffee. It's just, these things happen. Shit happens, All right, number 3. Oh, this one drives me crazy. There's a new member of a group, and they're meeting kind of all the members of the group. And one of the members of the group, who's kind of catty or sort of, always has a sarcastic comment, will kind of come in and say the catty line or sarcastic comment. And then the person introducing the new person in the group will say something like, "That's Cody," or like, "Classic Cody." And it's just like that one lame, sarcastic comment is all the character development they're going to get, right? It's just like, "Classic Cody, sarcastic." And it's just like, yeah, don't even bother developing this character. Let's just give them a shit one-liner every couple of episodes.
Oh, man, that is so classic Jim.
That's classic Jim, isn't it? Classic Jim. But that one drives me crazy. Here's one of my favorites, number 2. This is... when a character psychoanalyzes another character. It usually happens at a job interview or on like a first date, like a guy's hitting on a woman or something, and the woman will say something like, "I know your type. Smug, arrogant, thinks the world owes him a check. Well, let me tell you something." And then they get into whatever they're going to say anyway. I just think it's so funny, this notion in film and TV shows when characters can just look at another character and immediately know their life story. This almost like FBI criminology breakdown of a personality I just find so silly and just so unrealistic. It's kind of like the old movie device where it's like a character has a trauma and we flash back to that one trauma that defines their entire life. And it's just like, that is just not how life works, but it works good for movie structure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Number 1, hackiest kind of line trope in modern movies and TV. I'll preface this by saying there is an art to foul language. There is an art to swearing. Succession mastered this art. Veep, I think, is maybe one of the greatest shows of all time that mastered this art. And something I cannot stand is when shows have over-the-top, nonsensical cussing to prove that a character is no nonsense and also shock the audience. The best example of this has been, God help me, with my fiance, I have been watching the Kim Kardashian legal drama, All's Fair. And to be honest, it's pretty enjoyable junk food television. Kim, cardboard acting. She's gorgeous to look at. She is no actress. But the people surrounding her, like Niecy Nash is great. It's a Ryan Murphy show, so it's really salacious. There's a lot of like foul language and stuff. Sarah Paulson's great. But Glenn Close, Naomi Watts. Like there's a lot of fun stuff about the show. It's total guilty pleasure watch. But Sarah Paulson kind of plays the villain, their rival lawyer in this show. And Ryan Murphy and company saddle her with just the filthiest, most awful, like uncreative swearing you have ever heard. So, Will, you're going to have to bleep some of this. Here are a few lines that Sarah Paulson says as the villain in All's Fair. She tells one of the ladies at one point, "See you in court, burger."
Oh. Oh, God.
She tells her client, who's kind of a guy who hooks up with a lot of women, cheated on Kim Kardashian. She's defending the man who's divorcing Kim Kardashian, right? And she tells him, "Am I making myself clear? Sir f***s a lot."
Not great.
Like, just not creative at all, right? The last one, the ex-husband and Kim Kardashian are arguing over these embryos they created together when they were married. And Sarah Paulson's threatening to do awful things to these embryos, using them for leverage. She tells Kim Kardashian, "You don't give us what we want, everything we want. Those eggs will never see the inside of Allura's hoo-ha, because I will personally slather them in A1 steak sauce and eat them with a side of fries."
That's awful.
Like, it's just not, I just don't get why this is a thing. And you see this in so many shows. And I think it's so unfortunate because it's typically female characters get saddled with this, right? They're almost trying to, like, overcompensate, or it's just like it's this like projection of men where it's like, what if we wrote a female character as like even more like hardcore dirty than the guys, and that'll really show she's tough. And I just find it to be such a reductive, hacky trope. And I get it, I'm not a woman, I can't speak for women, but it just drives me crazy. You know what I mean? Having said that, All's Fair, pretty fun show.
Yeah.
Pretty fun show, I gotta say.
I can't say the description that you've given and the snippets that you've revealed to me are that enticing, but yeah, I mean, I can see how it would be. And I think that you're right in the diagnosis of it, and just kind of showing that, we're not holding anything back.
No,
in
yeah,
this
exactly,
show.
exactly.
It's all's fair.
All's fair in love and war and too much swearing. That's right. All right, we got one more category left for our 50th episode extravaganza, health and wellness, one of our favorite things to talk about here on the program. I assigned you a top 5 list about health and wellness, and it was, because you're a man in his 30s and I'm a man about to enter my 30s, I wanted you to tell me the top 5 things you need to keep an eye on as you enter your 30s. And I'm hoping this can sort of give me a good path, sort of a roadmap to entering my 30s and sort of taking care of myself. I'm trying to take care of myself a little better,
I think you are following a lot of these things, but these are the main things that I've harped on as a man entering his 3rd decade. Number 5, you got to drink water and electrolytes. Electrolytes, I used to think were sort of a pseudoscience, hocus pocus, mumbo jumbo type of thing. That is until I started playing pickup basketball, and I'm a relatively perspirous sort of a man. I perspire quite a bit, and I would get these debilitating headaches after playing, no matter how much water I chugged. And you just need to put electrolytes into it. You need to drink water and electrolytes. You're getting old. Your body's drying out. You're an old car. On old cars, you need to be checking the oil and topping it up a little bit more often. And that's what you're riding around in. So you got to be checking your oil, a.k.a. making sure you get plenty of fluids in there.
We were playing basketball the other day, and my bicep just started hurting from jump shots. It's not like a basketball is particularly heavy. And you were positing that perhaps I needed more electrolytes.
Yeah.
And so now I know where this is coming from. You've lived this. You've earned this experience.
I've lived that life. I've lived these last 2 years a bit. Number 4 is stretch. You got to stretch. You got old muscles. You got old, just everything's older, and these things they're creaky. When you start running, you got to kind of build up to it, okay? You will cramp. You're going to get cramps now. You didn't used to get cramps. You're going to get them. You're going to be sore more. Your back will start hurting for no reason at all, so you got to be stretching. And you got to also, in addition to that, build and sort of take care of your muscles. When you're young, you just sort of have your strength and you have your body and you don't really have to worry too much about it. Now you got to be doing some maintenance. You got to be getting under the hood. But the positive side of this is that now that you're like a full-blown adult, you have this strength that you have just accrued over your many years of living. And so, you want to kind of harness that and maintain that sort of thing.
It's true. When we were moving you into your new place this past summer, I was pretty amazed at what we were able to lift and our stamina and our vigor. It was really impressive. I mean, getting a couch huge, must have been half a ton, that couch, getting it up 3 flights of stairs. And it is true. You almost have that, they talk about that mom strength if they have to lift a car, if their baby's trapped under it or whatever. I don't know. We had around 30s strength, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, you just kind of, you've been lifting and moving your whole life. You've built these things up, so you gotta keep track of them. Number 3, you gotta adjust your expectations. You are no longer who you used to be. Though you can basically do what you used to do, it's just gonna take you probably about 50% more time to recover. If you go out late, have a big night, you used to spend one day, then you're back, right? Or maybe even half a day, and then you're back.
Used to be,
and then now it's like you better budget out a full day, and then the day after that, you're gonna need to really get some good sleep. You need good sleep. You can't, just be staying up late, doing nothing, blue screen, blue light in your eyes, scrolling on your phone, watching TV up at all hours. If it starts hitting 9:30 and you're like, I'm gonna keep doing nonsense, I got a lot of time to go to bed. No, you don't. You gotta start winding down. Wrap it up. Get in bed. You need 8 hours. And
I felt this adjusting expectations recently when we used to play a lot of tennis, and then I hurt my back pretty bad. You would do these kind of lob shots close to the net, and I was charging up at one and just must have slipped a disc or something. Really hurt my back. And then I healed up, and we went back at it, and I just was so scared of hurting my back again that I stopped going for those, and I would just lose points to you, and it just sucked. And that's, I think, part of it is you get old, and it's just like, you got to lose a few points. Like, you can't go for all those. You can't go for the diving catch, the diving save, the diving spike, whatever it is. You just got to adjust those expectations. Very good. Almost a mental health versus physical health.
Yeah. You got to lose some battles if you want to keep fighting the war. Number 2, smoothies and soups. This is you now. This is you. You're eating smoothies and soups. This is the way you get your nutrients. There's just no way you can get your nutrients unless you're blending stuff together. You want to be getting protein powders in there. You want to be getting broths. You want to be making your own broths for these soups.
What is the idea here that in a smoothie you get more than just one fruit, in a soup you get more than one vegetable? You're just kind of packing them all into one serving.
That's right.
Idea? Okay.
There's some thought that you're supposed to get sort of 30 natural ingredients on a rotating basis within about a week, at any one time. And so this is a good way to get those things in there, It also, I think, is probably the best way, to sort of lose a pound or two. One day you're like, all right, for one of these meals, I'm going to have a smoothie. For one of these meals, I'm going to have some soup, these liquid diets.
I wonder if it helps your teeth, too. Less wear on the teeth, chewing into, harder to chew things, maybe,
as you get older, those teeth, they're coming out. So you might as well get used to the liquid diet. All right. And then number 1, and this is one I've kind of had to learn the hard way. We've talked about some of our medical maladies on this. Number 1 is go to the doctor. If something weird starts happening to you or something weird shows up on your body, you gotta go to a doc and ask him, what's up? What's up, doc? I had a very...
Not Bugs Bunny. There's not Bugs Bunny. Genuinely, what is up, doctor?
Yeah, if you see the doctor smooth 2 large rabbit ears behind their head, you want to go to a different doctor. I had a very small mole on the palm of my hand that I thought was couldn't have been less innocuous. I've been going to a dermatologist. The dermatologist is like, we got to cut this off right now. They did a biopsy on it, and I'm no doctor, but they told the biopsy it was severe atypia, and that means that they have to do a surgery on my hand to continue cutting out more of this growth, and otherwise it would have eventually turned into melanoma and cancer. You're getting so old now that your body is going to start producing things that could kill you. So you got to ask the doc, hey, doc, tell me what's up. And quite frankly, if you go to the doctor, you're probably going to get bad news. I think most people who don't go to the doctor don't go because they don't want the bad news, but it's better to get bad news than the worst news.
As a coworker told us once, well, there's bad news and then there's bad news.
Yeah.
And that's part of going to the doctor. It's like you want the former or you want the latter, because the latter's a hell of a lot worse, right? Yeah, very good. Very, very good advice. I would say the one weird thing I've had recently, I don't know if it's drier air or what, I'm trying to really avoid saying the word booger. Is there a word I could use other than booger that would make this conversation a little more palatable?
I don't think so.
Well, my boogers have been huge lately. I don't know what it is. I'll blow my nose, and they're bigger than ever. So I don't know. Is it nose hair? Is that a thing? I've had more nose hair, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the doc's going to tell me. What's up, doc? The boogs, they're out of control. Help me out here. Help me out. Anyway, but yeah, something to keep an eye on. Well, very good, buddy. Very helpful advice. And we just got one more list that you assigned me here. You want to let the people know the list you have assigned me under the category of health and wellness.
Indeed. I would be curious, as we talk about our bodies, we talk about maintenance. And so I would like the top 5 health habits that you hate to do, but you have to do.
This was very easy to come up with. They almost presented themselves in perfect order as well. Number 5, boy, I'm really doing some gross ones tonight involving picking things out of places. But number 5, health habit I hate to do. Remove lint out of my belly button. I have a very deep belly button, I would say, and I have been finding as I've been getting older, and maybe it's I have hairs by my belly button, or what the case is. I am once a day, twice a day, thrice a day, getting lint out of my belly button. If I work out, belly button full of lint. If I'm just sitting around the house, belly button full of lint. I'll tell you the weirdest thing. Let's say I'm wearing a red shirt and a black sweatshirt. Mm-hmm. When I take my clothes off at the end of the day, I'll look in my belly button and there'll be black lint in there, even though there was a red layer in between. So I don't know, the lint is jumping through layers. It's like cannonballing into my belly button. So anyway, it's not that big of a deal, but every day I'm just like, geez, more? What are we doing? It's like, this doesn't really count, but I wear glasses. I have to clean my glasses every single day, basically, right? I could maybe skip a day here or there, but it's like, God, again? Really? Jeez, when is this going to end, But anyway.
It is funny that it sort of all gets funneled that
How does that work? Is it the hairs? Is it the sweat? I don't know.
It's the drain. It's the drain of the body is the belly button.
That's the drain. That's right. Number 4. Health habits I hate to do, but I have to. I have to shave my neck. I have a very ugly neck beard if I don't keep it trim. I'm growing my beard out quite a bit now.
It looks pretty good.
Thanks, buddy. But that's mostly to cover my neck getting a little chubby. But I basically have a double chin. And frankly, if I'm eating a lot of bread or I'm a little bloated, it's basically just a wall of flesh from my chin to the base of my neck. So having a neck beard, kind of cascading down that is not super attractive. So I got to trim the neck beard. It's a good, I don't know. How long is that? 4 or 5 inches?
Yeah.
Neck beard I got to trim. And I got to do it, I don't know, twice a week, something like that. Break out the razor, whatever, cry me a river. Not too bad. Not too bad as far as health things go.
It is gross. You got to get that neck hair. It's so funny that we just like neck hair, unacceptable. Cheek hair, fine.
And yet some people can pull off a neck beard. I was watching Nobody Wants This with Adam Brody, dashing Adam Brody, and he's got a full beard like me, but then he has like a little neck beard underneath it. And I was saying to my fiance, I was like, what do you think of that neck beard? And she's like, I kind of like it. And I was like, what? The same comment is not lobbed in my direction when my neck beard is full and flowing. So just something to kind of keep an eye on, I suppose. All right, number 3, health habit I hate to do but have to. Stretching my back so it doesn't get as tight as a balloon knot. You mentioned back pain on your list. This is something I've dealt with since high school when I wrenched going for a rebound in basketball, and it's been kind of out of whack ever since. I have to stretch my back and do cat dogs, or what are they called? Cat cows and yoga poses. I got to probably do it every other day or my back just seizes up. We just drove back from Sacramento and it's a 6-hour car ride. And man, being just in that position for 3 hours, it just tightens up like a damn balloon nut. And I really got to keep it limber and stretch, especially these winter months. You wake up and it's cold and I feel like things just kind of tighten up, you know?
Yeah, the back, it ain't meant to be upright, and it's been a source of issue for humanity ever since we started walking around on 2 feet.
It's a damn shame. Number 2, health habit I hate to do but have to, brushing my teeth before bed. I don't mind brushing my teeth in the morning. I really don't care. It kind of helps me start my day, feel fresh. But God, I hate doing it before bed. I'm tired and cozy. I'm usually watching TV on a couch, and then I got to kind of wake myself up and brush my teeth. And I've been flossing at night, too. That's right. I floss twice a day. I used to do it once a day. I started doing it at night, and then I was just like, boy, I can never go back. So I do it twice a day. You do it twice a day. We chatted about it. Yeah, man, I know you got to do it. It's not good to brush your teeth once every 24 hours. That is just not acceptable, no matter what they did in the Old West. But, boy, there's some nights I'm really cozy, especially like a Friday night, long week of work, and you're cozy, and you just want to go to bed, especially in the winter. You got a blanket on you, and then you got to get your ass up and get into that bathroom and brush your teeth. You know?
I find that I dislike the most is actually starting the process of brushing my teeth. Once the brush is in my mouth and I'm brushing, I'm okay with it.
Yes.
But it's the oh God, I gotta do it. I gotta brush.
Yeah, it's painful. Number 1, health habit I hate to do but have to, any type of ab workout. My abdomen is a bucket of horse crap. It is loose and worthless and causes me a lot of back pain. So I have to do ab workouts. I have to do crunches. I have to do these new types of sit-ups I do. Where remember when we grew up, you had your hands on the back of your head and you wrenched your neck up.
Yeah.
And then,
is that not good for you?
No, and then the next one I learned is you do your hands in an X, kind of a cross pattern on your chest, and then you go up like that. You're not supposed to do that either. What you do is you have your knees and you have your hands kind of slide up and down your thighs. So up to your knees, back down, up to your knees, back down, and you're just kind of using your full core to do it. The other thing I'll do is I'll kind of wrap my legs and bring them toward me and do what are crunches, essentially. I'll go left side, right side. I'll do that thing where you're laying down flat, splayed out, and you kind of collapse your body like the letter V. I just hate it. I've been waking up early in the morning before work and doing like, I don't know, a half hour of strength and ab stuff. And God, I just hate it. I just like, like those are the noises I'm making. I just, my abs, bucket of crap. Just hate doing it. Have to do it till the day I die. And it's good for you. It's good to have an abdomen that is not just pure Pillsbury crescent dough. You should have some muscle peeking through under there. So dag nabbit, I'll keep doing it. But that don't mean I gotta like it, you know?
No. I don't know that, hey, maybe someday you'll begin to crave that ab workout.
Yeah, I wonder. I know they talk about the runner's high and, getting into working out and stuff. I can get that sometimes with like basketball or when I played soccer, like kind of that competitiveness and liking that type of working out. But just getting in a gym or just being on a yoga mat and just you and willpower and needing to just make it happen. It's tough. It's tough sometimes.
That's right, buddy. That's right. Well, welcome to your 30s, huh?
Hey, thanks, buddy. Almost there on my birthday. Oh, you got a gift for me?
Yeah.
You sure? You hesitated there. It sounded disingenuous. Your voice went up a bit there.
It's a good gift.
Well, one party at a time. We got to close up our 50th episode extravaganza. This was really wonderful. You, me, and our pal Will Slade. We've done 50 of these things. Now 51, technically. We spilled into the next episode like a boozy night we've had before. Yeah. And really great experience. I hope the listeners enjoyed this. This was a fun time. I see Will is passed out, covered in champagne and confetti. He's clearly had a good time. Again, we've been partying a week straight, right? We did last week's episode, and we just kept raging the whole time. But hey, here's to 50, and here's to 50 more. What do you say?
I say sounds good.
All right. In that case, please subscribe, comment, and leave a rating. Send questions, comments, or big idea suggestions to our business email, flynnbrospod@gmail.com. Thank you to our producer, Will Slade. Wake up, buddy. We need you to turn off the podcast. Okay, you got it? All right, cool. Great. And we'll see you next time on the Flynn Brothers podcast. Hey, take care, buddy.
No, buddy, you take care.